Hey, yo.
Yo. Y'all know that's how we come on. Welcome to Great Lakes Livecast. We here with another episode. We got
Introduce yourself.
they know what it is, man. Rap Sheet. We got the host with the most, Jamaican Shan in the building. You know what I'm saying? We so privileged and we so happy to have a special guest here with us, James Cotton. You know, for sure, man. Collinwood alumni. We went to Collinwood with him, and he went on, man, and out to the stratosphere. So we gonna interview him a little bit and just see what he got going on, man.
No doubt, no doubt. I appreciate you guys having me, man. It ain't nothing like hanging out. I consider you guys. Bam is my family, Ren's family. So
hell yeah,
this is what it is, man. I appreciate all the love that I get here in Cleveland whenever I make it back. So
appreciate it, man. Like I said, we honored to have you as a guest, man. You know, as a fellow Collinwood graduate, we just honored to have you, man.
Right, for sure. And to watch this young man come up and see him do his thing is amazing. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Like, I think he found
What is that on your head? The fire company?
No, this is New York, man.
Okay, that's hard. My
bad. This is New York. But I watched him do his thing, and I'm gonna start it off with, you know what I'm saying? We talking about basically the transition from college, from high school, college to football, playing on Saturdays and Sundays, you know what I'm saying? But my biggest thing is, and the only way I talk about what happened in Kentucky.
University of Kentucky.
University of Kentucky, because I know you are part of the Ohio State University.
Yeah. So a lot of people don't know. So I came out of Collinwood 1994, and what happened, this is like hood talk, what happened was I tore my ACL. So when I tore my ACL, all of the schools that recruited me, Ohio State, Arkansas, Purdue, all of the MAC schools, like all of those schools said, oh man, we can't touch you with a 10-foot pole. And so the only school that stuck with me was the University of Kentucky. I don't think I've ever told this story on air, and a lot of people don't know. So the coach at the University of Kentucky, he was like, hey, man, we're going to stick with you. We got a scholarship waiting for you. So my problem was I didn't qualify out of high school coming out of Collinwood for my ACT and SAT test scores. Okay. My GPA was too low and my test scores didn't match. And so he was like, why don't you retake the test and we'll hold the scholarship for you in January. And so me being the person I am, proactive, I was like, I'm going to take some classes down in Tri-C. I enrolled in Tri-C. And he was like, whatever you do, don't enroll full time. And I seen how much money you could get on the federal Pell Grant, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm enrolling full time. And then my eligibility clock started ticking. And so he was like, I passed the test scores. I took an English class and a math class at Tri-C, and the education class would put me over as a full-time student. And so I passed the test scores finally. He was like, hey, congratulations. And then he said, send me your transcripts. I sent him my transcripts, and he was like, man, I told you don't go full time. And then he was like, here's what I can do for you. I give you some numbers to some community colleges. He gave me the numbers to 3 schools. Only school called me back was City College of San Francisco. Went out there, 2-time All-American, 2-time captain.
So you went out there and handled your business.
End up transferring. He was like, we're so sorry that you don't have to worry about being loyal to us. I know you would be loyal because that dude called me every single week. Hey man, what you doing? You staying out in the streets? Yeah. I was like, yes sir. And here's how God works and comes full circle. He was the coordinator for the Texas A&M football team. My Sugar Bowl championship that I won at Ohio State, me and him met at midfield and hugged because this guy was responsible for me getting to Ohio State. Even though he knew that they weren't going to be on the coaching staff, none of that. He was like, we're going to get fired. And that guy basically put me in a position to excel.
Wow. That's a hell of a story and, a hell of a come up, man.
Right,
you know what I mean?
So
we want to go ahead.
When you played at Collinwood, you was like you played all positions. I mean, I can remember when the dude scored a touchdown, kicked the extra point, and then ran down and made a tackle. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like this is what I'm saying. This dude he was doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? It it was like unheard of for a cat to do. You know what I'm saying? We had a lot of people come out of Collinwood and do their thing, but he was close to me, like you know. What I'm saying?
He
like,
come up out your camp.
He come up out my camp, like.
Yeah, I used to sleep in Bam's basements the day before scrimmages. And
got him
we
a
used to smell
job.
our stinky jerseys, and then we did landscaping, and cut
So I kept
grass.
telling him, like, man, call your man.
You know what I'm saying?
And Bam showed me kind of like how to navigate these streets a little bit.
And it was like, damn, he did it. You know what I'm saying? It's like I can remember the one time when I didn't get it. I never actually got a chance to go to a game at Oak State. You know, it's hard to get them tickets. But I was up in Canada when you was balling in Canada.
Yeah.
And we was in the bar, and they was about to close down. We
I
like,
thought you couldn't get into Canada with all type of felonies and all type of stuff.
well, you got to know people, man. You know what I'm saying? You got to know people. So we in the bar, you know what I'm saying? We up in Canada.
You know, Drake.
And I know Drake, you know what I'm saying? And I said, you know, me and Mickey, we sitting at the spot, and they was about to close up. They was like, so what brings y'all to Canada? We're like, we up here kicking it, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, and you know, my cousin played. They was like, who? I'm like, James Cotton. They was like, oh, they start turning lights on. Like, he coming up here? I had called you, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, they're like, he coming? James Cotton? I'm like, yeah. They're like, he coming up here?
Superstar, man.
I'm like, you know, it's Twine. I don't even call him.
Right,
I'm like, it's Twine. You know, man. Like, we just up in Canada. Man. You did your thing up in Canada. You played in the NFL, and then you did all this thing. So right now you got the draft. Tell us like that process, like how, like when that night. Because see, a lot of people don't know this home cat right here was drafted by the Browns.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, he was drafted by the Browns.
Yeah, I was originally drafted by the Browns, but then they traded that pick to the Chicago Bears. So long story short, Chris Spielman, who's an All-American legend for the Buckeyes and played the NFL, his brother was the vice president of player personnel for the Bears, and he said, man, I just got off the phone with Chris, and he said, you'll whoop anybody's ass anytime, in the daytime, nighttime. He said he'll get in the foxhole with you, so we're going to take you with this pick. I was just like so grateful. But it was just like, would I have preferred to play for the Browns? Of course, you know, hometown kid. But the fact that I was able to get my start, and Ryan Urlacher was in my draft class with the Bears, the Hall of Famer, and it was cool. I had the opportunity when he got inducted up in Canton. I was able to go and have dinner with him and his family, hung out with him for a little bit. But it's just like, you know, when you play football, man, you just make these friendships and you talk to people. And I'm sure we'll get into it in the show, but it's like, you know, I played the most with the Atlanta Falcons. And so when I was down there, like Michael Vick was the guy, right? Mm-hmm. He had just signed
he was there when you was there?
He had just signed a $116 million deal.
Damn. Okay,
so it was like, yeah, bro.
That's nothing to now.
Right. But back then,
here we go. So we were like Magic City on Mondays. It was like, you heard the song Jermaine Dupri. So all days of the week.
Tell the people out there, like, how did it feel when you first got drafted, man? When they called your number and you knew you was going to the league, man?
It was a great feeling because it was like your phone would ring. My phone started ringing like the fourth round. I knew I wasn't going to be a first, second, third round. But it was like I ran a 4.37 in the 40, fastest defensive lineman in Ohio State's history. Nobody's broken my record yet. And it was just like to get that phone call, it was just like a dream come true. It was like, honestly, I never dreamed of playing in the NFL, but it was like the more I embedded myself into my craft and understanding that this is what it's going to take to get to the next level. And then when I got to Ohio State, seeing all of these dudes come back, Sean Springs, Eddie George, Robert Smith, like all of these dudes, it was like, well, shit, I can play on this level. Like, they ain't going to give it to me. Like, I'm working out with these guys, and you know, it's a mantra thing at this point. Shit, I grew up on the 4-1, so it's just like ain't nobody about to pump me. So I represent wherever I go. So that's my motto. So just like in Canada, NFL was like everybody knew. They like, you know, what part of Cleveland you from? So it's like a thing. So you from the Heights or you? No, I'm from the hood. I'm from the hood, bro. So, but it's like just the whole feeling though, just that like the name itself, James Cotton, is just like a family name, you know, and it's just like I'm representing the hood, representing the family, and so it's just like those is just one of those things that where it's just like it's priceless, you know, nobody can take that moment away from me. And I tell you guys, one of the coolest things that happened to me at Ohio State, man, was God rest his soul, Fat Mac. Shantae.
Kurt.
Yeah, neighborhood legend.
He put it together. I remember seeing Quinn come down. It was my senior day. Everybody from the hood came down. And when I tell you, guys on my team was like, nigga. I was like, that's my whole hood. Everybody on Gold Dayton's, Hunted Spokes, representing. Right. You know, I had an old school back in the day, had some Hunted Spokes.
Was that the Icebreaker? Icebreaker weekend or no?
No, that wasn't Icebreaker weekend. It was my last game playing for Ohio State. We played Illinois. We got skunked too, but
you was one of the last cats to sack Tom Brady.
Yeah, 2 times in the big house.
Two times in the big house.
I like to think I made him famous.
That's for real. He
made you famous.
Hell yeah.
He's selling that jersey too. All that memorabilia, you know what I'm saying? Reach out.
So this for me right here, Kyle?
Yeah, so this is for the Great Lakes Podcast. I appreciate what you guys is doing, man.
Yeah,
so
I hold on to that. I hold on to that.
We're going to put that on the board in the face.
Yeah, I inscribed it. Player to sack Tom Brady twice in the big
Hell
house.
yeah. And we damn sure appreciate it, man. Hell yeah.
So now that you made that transition, you know what I'm saying? So life before, when you was in the field, those big checks, like when you saw that first big check, how'd you feel when you saw when they cut that check?
Oh man, I was like, woo! I thought I was rich. I ain't never seen that much money. So when you get drafted, you're guaranteed a paycheck. So you get my signing bonus was $30,000.
Hey,
damn.
After taxes, it was about 18 and some change. And when I went to National City Bank back in the day, the lady was like, "What you do?" I was like, "Yeah, you see the name on there." I was like, "Yeah, I play for the Bears." And she was like, "Ooh." I was like, "Yeah, this my number too." You know?
Oh, you slid your number? Dangerous.
But it was just like, oh man, I'm in the big leagues right now, right? So it was just so my thing was like, okay, I need to get my credit together. I need to get all my eggs in the basket.
Right.
And I was just like, hey.
So is that something you suggest for like new draftees? Is, work on their credit, have their credit in order?
Definitely. There's a lot of people, like in my position, I wasn't able to pay off of credit cards and stuff like that. But when I got in that position, I was like, let me go ahead and get my credit score up. Let me get everything together, because moving forward, that's how you do transactions. You got to have credit in order for the bank to trust you on getting loans. And so back then, I was like, had family doing trucking. So I was like, I'm going to get me a truck. And it was like all these entrepreneur things that I wanted to do. And so in order to do those things, you got to have credit. And so I tell all young guys, man, make sure you got credit. And make sure you understand how finances and budgeting works.
Okay, that's some good advice for the young ones coming up, the young people getting drafted.
When they cut them checks, and you know what I'm saying, you living that life, money coming in, and you make that transition. I understand you got your degree and everything, so a lot of cats, they athlete students or students athletes. You know what I'm saying, you get them both. What would you tell these young individuals, like as far as like, everybody want to make it to the league. So a lot of them don't understand that a lot of y'all not gonna make it. You know what I'm saying? And they put all their eggs in that basket to be in that situation. So what would you tell them, like, as far as that? Like, should you put all your eggs in the basket and go hard in the gym and be that athlete, or should you also work on
you also got your bachelor's degree, right?
Yeah,
your bachelor's
degree
in sociology.
And so here's what I would tell people. So whatever you're good at, you have to become a master at. So I don't care if it's football, I don't care if it's math, anything that you're good at, you have to become a master at it. I became a master at football. Football wasn't my best sport. I didn't even really like football. I quit football in 9th grade. Dino will tell you. But I was a hooper, baseball player. But it was like once I realized that, okay, this is my ticket to get out of the hood. This is my ticket to get a scholarship. My parents couldn't afford to send me to school. And so I always tell kids, man, you got to enhance your essential life skills, meaning commitment. How good are you at committing to what you're supposed to be doing? A lot of us get distracted. We don't have the focus, but you got to have commitment. In order to have commitment, your discipline has got to be there. And so for me, that's what I pump into these young kids, man. Commitment, discipline, self-worth, faith, and focus. Like those is the recipes for championships. You guys see these? You see the
what it is?
championship ring?
Championship. So he
Like-
ain't just talking. He talking.
Like this is what I use to get drafted into the NFL. This is what I use to start a business. You have to have commitment, and then once you master those essential life skills, it don't matter what you're trying to do. If you're trying to be a pro athlete, if you're trying to be a banker, if you're trying to go to the military, like the core essential life skills it takes to survive out here in the streets in the corporate world. Like this is what you need in order to have happiness and success. And success is predicated on what you value. So if you're a person that values money and you go out and make a bunch of money, then I guess that's successful. But you got people that make $30,000, $40,000 a year, contribute to the church, and live the happiest life they want.
Just as happy. As you get older, happiness is more important than money sometimes, man.
Right.
Yeah.
So now you say that you are the founder of the what is it called?
Buck Icon.
Buck Icon.
Yeah.
Your foundation. I hear y'all do a lot of things. So now you was a Cleveland cat, but you in Columbus. Like, do you have? I understand you do camps and whatnot. Do you do? I don't mean to scratch that, but I heard you do like far as men's health. You did a men's health because us as black individuals, men, prostate checks and all that. Let them know like how, you know what I'm saying, what your foundation do and what it is that you do also.
Exactly.
Right. So right now, I've been doing this since I retired from professional football. My company is called Buck Icon. We help
Buck
athletes-
Icon.
Buck Icon.
Yeah, we help athletes transition into life after sports. So I actually mentor guys, teach them how to do motivational speaking. And so I have my own speakers bureaus where we have former NFL, OSU athletes that come out and speak, go to schools, churches, whatever the cause is. But then I also have a mental health program where I talk to the youth about the importance of staying away from tobacco and then the whole vaping craze. So I have a Tackle Tobacco anti-vaping campaign.
Just
so
so you know.
if you guys want to reach out, I'll make sure these guys post my information, cell phone number, email address. So if you want athletes to come out, whether you're in Cleveland, anywhere in this great state of Ohio, I actually mentor a couple guys on the team currently as well. And so that's how I keep my name fresh around the program is I'm mentoring these young guys every year. I don't look for pats on the back. You know, guys hit me up like, hey man, can you hook me up with an NIL deal? Can you do this, do that? All I'm doing is just connecting guys with resources because that was something that I wish would have been available for me when I was transitioning out. So it was like I went through my whole transitional phase. I can't sit here and tell you that, hey, my transition was great. You know, I battled with depression. I battled with like anger management.
What made you go through depression?
So when you play football or you do anything in life for 16 years, that's how long I played football. 4 years in high school, 4 years in college, 8 years professional, 16 years. So that's pretty much a done deal, right?
Life, bro.
That's it.
Okay.
So just imagine losing a cousin, a relative. You know what I'm saying? And so what my program does is I teach guys to understand the 5 stages of grief because your career is dead, bro. You gotta celebrate it, you gotta bury it, and you gotta move on. Guess what? Life is moving on. So you like the 5 stages.
Foundation, you pretty much, not to cut you off, I'm sorry, but you pretty much like school them on what to do life after sports and life after.
It's life. It is. There is life after. And
Okay.
that's the thing. Like that, the stages of. I did the same thing in my deal with the stages of loss. You know what I'm saying? And that's part of that's what, you know what I'm saying, as far as going from making hundreds of thousands of dollars to probably making half of that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of cats don't make
Still
it.
getting some stacks though.
But it's still like, even for us, the transition, like some of the cats were like, you have a choice to make, to be practice squad or sign with another team. I know a lot of cats don't want to sign with practice squad. Could you tell like why? What's the reason? Like when you came out, you 250, 6'3", whatever, 200 pounds, and they say like, well, you're not good enough to play. We want you to be on our practice squad. Why is it that some of these young cats don't take that deal? You know what I'm saying?
That's an excellent question. I've been on the practice squad, so I know and understand practice squad is just for you to develop. So when somebody get hurt, boom, you next up.
Right.
And the cool thing about the practice squad, if somebody do get hurt, you get called up, you're guaranteed 3 game checks.
Dang, okay,
So,
What's a game check? How much is a game check?
So like back then, so my game check used to be $15,000 per week. Now, Michael Vick, when he signed a $116 million deal, his game check was like $478 after tax. Damn. A week. A week.
Damn.
So, but it's just like, mine was, it was like you take taxes out of that, so you're basically looking at about 10 bands, every week.
Still,
like once you're on the roster.
That's good money, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But on the practice squad, you're only getting, like, back then it was like $4,000 or $5,000 a week, but you're getting benefits, you're getting to interact, you're getting to develop and hone in on your skill set. And that comes to the point that the guys that turn that type of stuff down, they're not serious about it.
Is it part of? Is it negative? Like dudes who make it, do they look down upon them cats? Is that part of it? You know what I'm saying? Like I was privileged to see his NFL card. We went to a spot and he pulled out his NFL card. Like, man, I mean, if we was, I can't remember the spot we went to. They like, where the girls at? But they give you a little ID card. They say James got it.
So you get like a player's card. So no matter where you go, Vegas, like they know you go to the nightlife, you can say, hey man, I need private access or something like that. Like that's just one of the perks that come along with being in that limelight. But when people open up and roll out the red carpet, I mean, you just got to take advantage of it. I know I took some clean advantage of it, man. No matter where I was at, man.
Can you talk? Not to cut you off, my bad, but can you talk a little bit about your time at Ohio State? Because we got a lot of Ohio State fans out there. The Ohio State. Yeah.
So my time at Ohio State was great, man. When I transferred from City College to San Francisco and was able to get a scholarship to the Ohio State, man, it was an unbelievable experience. So, like, my first time running out of the shoe, I'm like, my junior college, this is a national championship. We had, like, maybe 200 people there. You go to Ohio State, at the spring game, it was 90,000 people. And so it was just like, whoa, you just see this big sea of red. And it's just like no feeling like it, man. You just like at the tunnel. I'll never forget this. And it's like, I've told this story many a times, man. So it's like, before you go out, you got the cheerleaders, you got Brutus, and then you got the team, well, you got the coaches, and then you got the team. So it was like, TV person is like, okay, yeah, send the cheerleaders out, boom. They send them out. Send Brutus out, boom. And then send the coaches out, boom. So now it's like team. So, I'm standing in the front. It's my first game. We play at the University of Toledo. So it's like an in-state rivalry, not really, but. So, I'm excited. First time running out in the shoe, man. Boom, I go, boop, trip, fall right on my face. My game pants, his jersey, my jersey number is all green. So I'm like, damn, I hop, in football, you talk to hop up quick. So I hop up quick, boom, run over to the sideline. Coach Cooper is like, damn, who you been tackling you, all right? And I was like, so, Coach, I fell on my face, man. He was like, damn.
So
you gotta be better than that.
We also know you earned your bachelor's degree in sociology while you was in college. So can you kind of talk to them a little bit about how important it is to make sure you get your degree while you in there playing football, basketball, whatever?
Oh yeah, for sure, man. It's definitely important, man. So like I was telling you guys in the beginning of the interview, I started school. I graduated from the Wood '94, tore ACL senior year. I actually sat out 2 years, so I didn't go to junior college in San Francisco until 1996. Now, I enrolled when I had that debacle at Tri-C in 1995. And so now, fast forward, when I get to Ohio State, 98, 99, so I went on to play professional football for 8 seasons. I hadn't graduated yet. Each off season, I would come back and take classes. They have a degree completion program, which is a phenomenal program. And I've actually sent, a lot of my homeboys back through the program. And so it all comes full circle because they get the opportunity to come and volunteer at my camps. They get credit and that's why they pay for your classes. You got to do community service. My community service, when I was going, I was in charge of study table. So guys like Greg Oden, Gary Conley that plays in the NBA now, I had all of these guys. These guys just be like, excuse me, Mr. Khan, can I go to the bathroom? I was be like, man, it's 6 o'clock in the morning, man. Just go to the bathroom, man. But it's just like our brotherhood is so strong, whether you play basketball, football. But I said all of that to basically say, once you start something, you got to finish it. And that's my message to the kids. It took me 12 years to graduate from college. and I'm not a
Did it
doctor.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a surgeon.
I'm not a doctor, but it was just like the discipline it takes to do that. Like I wanted to go on vacations in the off season, and I did, but it was just like I still had to. I was commuting from Atlanta, like off season workouts. I was taking classes. I was going to practice, and then I would come back, go to Columbus, and I had a deal with my professors where I could actually miss some classes, but I had to show up for some classes.
Wow.
And I was just like,
That's commendable.
statute of limitations ain't up. I can't tell you
Hey,
now.
so when you played it up north, not Michigan, when you was playing in Canada, the general manager Wally spoke really highly of you. Why did you leave? And from seeing what he talked highly of you and what you did and your accolades, what you did up north. Why would you transition from the Canadian League to come back? Once you left, you was here.
You won the championship in
in Canada. Yeah, I told you, man. And it was like he talked real highly, and he opened the door for you to come back. Why didn't you go back when he left that door open?
I did go back. I just went with a different team. So the goal of Canada and my life at that time was a stepping stool to get back to the NFL. So when I got drafted by the Bears, a lot of people don't realize I had like 2 bulging discs in my back, and so the Bears released me, injury settlement. But I had to basically reprove myself that I could actually play. So I went up to Canada, led the league in sacks, and ended up winning the Grey Cup and the championship.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And then, so the teams was actually Indianapolis Colts, Buffalo Bills, and I was like, Buffalo had like 6 Ohio State players on the team, so I'm like, oh, they're gonna show love. And then I went there, and it was just like the most boringest city, and just like
Buffalo.
yeah.
Wow.
And so like, I was
All they got is wings.
I was like back and forth between Buffalo and Hamilton because I played in Canada, so I was very familiar with the Canadian side of Buffalo. So
your for you to leave Canada, was it the money?
yeah, so it was like I wanted to get back to the NFL so I could show that I could play on that level. So like I was able to make a couple, like 2.5 seasons with the Falcons, and then and I was like, I can always come back to Canada.
Right.
Speaks for itself. So that's why, I finished my career in Canada, playing up there with the Hamilton Tiger Cats. So.
And then you could also play for the Hitmen.
That was the XFL, so that was in between. So when I was like trying to prove myself after I hurt my back in Chicago, I was like the 55th pick of the first XFL of the New York, New Jersey Hitmen, and they're actually me and Bernard Rush was teammates from Collinwood.
Okay, Bernard Rush, shout out to Rush, another Collinwood
So
alumni.
I was the guy that followed in Bernard's footsteps. Bernard was the one that set the tone with going to community college, and he would come back to me like during his off season in Arizona, and he would tell me all about, man, if nothing works out for you, make sure you go to JUCO.
What about Amari?
Omari followed in my footsteps.
Okay.
I paved the way, and we all it's just like a whole circular thing. It was just like all of the guys that played the NFL except for Cecil Shorts, who's inducted into the Collinwood Hall of Fame as well.
Today or no?
No, I actually inducted Cecil Shorts in the Collinwood Football Hall of Fame like 5 years ago.
Oh wow!
Yeah, Miss Beecham asked me to induct them, and I did it. And I was
Wow,
like,
Miss Beecham, Miss B.
I was like, when is it gonna be my turn? So I didn't. But that was like really my first time like really engaging and talking to him, and he's a real cool dude.
Young cat.
But Omari, he followed in my footsteps. He went to JUCO in Minnesota and then transferred to Buffalo and played the Super Bowl with the Carolina Panthers. So that's my dude. Shout out to Big O.
So
that's why
now that your career as far as NFL is all done, you educated, you married with kids. What is it now? So I mean, it's not you. I know you're not working in a grocery store, but So how does that play out? So did you go back into your degree, or
I was gonna say, do you use the sociology degree?
So the sociology degree gives you a plethora of many things. So when I first got done playing football, like one of the places that I actually just go and volunteer was a grief program, and that's how I learned about the 5 stages of grief.
Right.
One of my first consultant contracts, I'm a huge consultant. One of my first consultant contracts was with the Ohio State Medical Center, and so they had a grief program where they offered pre and post counseling for families that lost loved ones to cancer or murders, and so it's like, man, that's insane. But the lady took a liking to me and just like, hey, I want to bring you on full time, and I got a contract out of that. And I created programs. I learned how to create programs from that program, and I was like, I can do this myself. Right. And so that's what I started doing, and then I transitioned into like helping athletes, and then once I figured out that, oh man, just like workers' compensation cases in the state of California where I was helping guys. So I went through the whole workers' compensation case to the state of California. Here's a gym for guys. This is like, they killed it now, but if you played a game or practiced in the state of California, you're privy to the workers' compensation benefits program.
Wow. Okay.
And so I was able to get guys over $5 million worth of settlements.
Man,
Of course, I took 4% of that.
I was about to say that they look out.
I think I played in it.
And so one of my roommates from college, he got a law practice out in California, and I was like, hey man, you hip to the workers' comp stuff out in Cali? He was like, oh yeah, for sure. He was like, actually, I partnered with a guy who's on the board of the Workers' Comp Association in California, and it turns out he was like an Ohio State alumni as well. And so like I said, those guys love me because I gave them so many guys. Because the guy that put me on was like just some random guy, just like, and I was like, this guy can do this. Right, because he was like, hey, who do you know that played in California? And I'm like, I know everybody that played in California, but I'm like, I'm not about to send them to you.
Right.
I'm about to eat. That's what full block mentality one taught me.
That's that St. Clair mentality, for real, man.
For sure.
And so I was able to help guys. I had NBA clients, Major League Baseball clients, and NFL clients, obviously, guys that played in the Arena Football League. So anybody, where there was an organization with a team in California, all of those guys is privy to those benefits. Even to this day. Now they changed the rules a little bit, but it's still a good, viable option.
Would you be doing any that help as far as mental health, physical health, and anything? And I see like this dude is 47 years old, man. He still look like he is fucking lined up right now. Not myself, I'm 48.
I thought you was 54.
Hey,
man was always the oldest.
But is there anything like, your health is your wealth, you know what I'm saying? And the NFL, I know they take care of you as far as whatever, but it's like,
after
is there anything like any programs or any camps or as far as youth or whatever? Because I got a grandson who can throw that ball. He cold. He cold with it.
I know you get a lot of that.
Yeah, everybody. Like, hey, my nephew. Man, this dude.
But it's like wherever you at, there's always going to be programs and resources. Mm-hmm. So you just got to, like, y'all right here in the backyard of the Browns. I know a lot of the Browns players, they put on camps and stuff like that. Now, whether it's free or not, that's a different question. But you just got to kind of like do your research. So all the parents out there, just get on Google and Google camps near me.
You want to let them know your camp, and your camp is free, right?
My camp is free. It's actually going to be, we're doing one in Cleveland.
Okay.
Right here on the west side off of West 65th Street, July 21st. All of that information will be coming out soon. So if you check on my website, www.buckicon, that's BUCKICON.com. And then you guys go to the calendar. It'll be up there pretty soon. We're just working out the details, but the camp is absolutely free, ages 7 to 17.
How long is it?
It's just a day camp from 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock. But we're going to have OSU and NFL players mentoring and teaching the kids the fundamentals of football, but the essential life skills it takes to be successful in life.
Yeah, I got one more. I got a partner, Stace. He got a son, like a big dude, freaking nature, he like yourself. Would you rather, he asked me, should he go to, he's not even in high school yet, but he's a big dude, and he in football and sports and whatnot. He asked me, should he go to like Glenville or one of these schools, or should he just go somewhere where he can stand out? Not go to one of these farm schools like St. Ignatius or Benedictine. What's your opinion? What do you think? Should he go where everybody at these schools they're looking at, or should he go
like Glenville? They produce NFL.
So it's really about, he's got to determine what his son mentality is. Does his son have dog in him, or does he not have dog in him? Because if he goes and dominate at Collinwood, if he goes and dominate at Glenville, St. Ignatius, it don't matter.
Right.
You know, they're gonna find you. But is it helpful to be in front of a place to where people are already eyeballs there? Of course. But it's just gonna be kind of like up to the kid. Like, is he okay to be in those environments? And a lot of parents think that, oh, I'm just gonna put my son at Benedictine, or I'm gonna put my son at St. Ignatius, and he's gonna be fine. Where he struggles to communicate with people and struggles to blend in. You know, that's one of the key compromises that happens in those types of situations. But I would say that's a conversation that Jermaine got to have with his son to make sure that, like, hey man, how are you? What do you feel? You know, a lot of parents try and live vicariously through their kids. So it's just like, you gotta always put the kid first. You can't just force your kid because you want them to
right.
excel at football. That might not be his dream. You know what I'm saying?
You a father, you know what I'm saying? So are your kids involved, like, would you, as far as football or whatever, you've dealt with the ups and the downs and the ins and outs. Is this something you recommend for your kids, or college or military, or where would you say, like, between college, military, definitely college, but as far as their life choices, is should they pursue sports versus education and going into the working field?
Again, this is totally up to your kids. Now, my kids, you know, I've tried to expose them to all of the sports. I have, me and my wife have 4 kids, so 3 girls, 1 boy. Boy is 5 years old. He's into everything besides sports.
Video games.
No,
You're a Fortnite champ.
it's like everybody's like, man, your son is he 7, 8? I'm like, he just turned 5.
Oh, he a big kid.
He's a big kid.
5'5".
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like, but my daughter, my 15-year-old daughter, she plays volleyball, and she's like, she's been in private school her whole life, and so now she's like, Dad, I want to go to public school. And I'm like, you sure?
Right.
I was like, you know, I'm a project of public, you know, I'm from public school, right?
Exactly.
I was like, you know, you got the resources, but she wanted to try it out, so she's transitioned well, and
That's
you know,
interesting, man. That's really interesting. She
4.1
chose to go
grade point average, and just like.
Yeah.
It's easier.
You know what I'm
No,
saying?
No, I'm saying it's easier to go to public school.
she's taking college courses, so when she's done with high school, she'll have her associate's degree.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, they got
That's
that
hard.
at
That's
John
hard.
Hay. So, like I said, man, I'm proud of you, what you did,
Exactly,
your
man.
accolades. you
Yeah,
know
I
what
was
I'm saying?
about to say we don't want to let you get out of here,
You
man,
got- I know
without
you got-
telling some of your accolades.
And
man.
then also Easton Mall. Polaris Mall, where you can get his memorabilia, footballs, helmets. Also, I've been up there a couple of times. You can meet Ohio State players and whatnot. And hey, when you come down, you might see them on the folk block.
Patronize. Make sure you
Make sure
patronize,
you
man.
patronize. And also, like I said, Icon,
Look,
Buck Icon,
Buck Icon. Yeah.
Buck
exactly,
Icon.
yeah.
Great job.
I want to talk about, man, just before you go, man, some of the things that you accomplished, man. You know, as a junior, Big Ten championship at Ohio State, Sugar Bowl victory over Michigan. You had a victory over Texas A&M in 1998, and in 1999, you led the team in sacks and tackles for losses, man. So, you know, I really want to, you know, commend you on that. I didn't want to let you get out of here. You know, a lot of people don't want to speak about their accomplishments, but we're going to let it be known. He wasn't just there for show. He was handling business, man, for real.
Oh yeah, I came in to take care of business, man. And guys knew. A lot of people thought I was from California, so when I came in, obviously I came from City College in San Francisco, which is out on the West Coast. But I was like, nah, bro, I can have my niggas down here. we can make it crack now.
Yeah, he spoke about the dog, having the dog in you. And, you know, that definitely shows he had the dog in him, for sure, man.
You know, we had that 7 we went to the game with John
Adams.
They stole it.
So my music.
That's a different story.
Out the car?
Out the car. They parked across the street. Peeled the column. Dan was like, man, you better turn that shit down. I'm like, oh, yeah,
He come through. I say, hey man, we go to
we come
116.
out.
car
like,
gone.
I look across the street.
We parked over here.
I go.
So they took the music and parked the car across the street.
Across the street. They couldn't start it though. They couldn't start it, so they pushed it.
Oh man!
And so me and Bam
Man,
got
get my
in the car.
nigga his music back, man.
I hit the kill switch.
Nope.
And Bam pushed the little thing because I didn't know how to start a peel column. Bam was like,
Long time ago. Long time ago. Long time ago.
Jamaican roots.
I was like,
man.
man, this is something for the real.
I just want to get up 116.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? But then my people's wrong, man. You want the sounds back.
Yeah, man. Damn. But man, we damn sure appreciate you.
Appreciate
coming
you
through,
coming,
man.
man.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of
Yeah,
fun,
yeah.
man. We're gonna celebrate tonight.
Tonight,
so you
You gotta
guys
know about the
Tailgate.
party, man.
Yeah, celebrating my Hall of Fame induction in the Collinwood Hall of Fame. So if you guys are out, it is May the 4th. May the 4th be with you.
Show.
9:30, we're gonna have a little meet and greet. I'm gonna have some jerseys, some stuff for people if they want to buy some stuff from the Buckeye. You know, support is greatly appreciated. But the cool thing is all the proceeds contribute to the free camp that I put on throughout the state of Ohio.
Okay.
And this year I'm
That's
bringing the
beautiful.
free camp
That's
here
beautiful.
to Cleveland. So if we got sponsors out there that want to sponsor the camp, we need some sponsors. So if y'all watching this, I've seen some sponsors on the shows, t-shirt sponsors,
exactly.
whatever,
Tap
any
in.
type of sponsors,
Tap in.
volunteers, always needed. So, but I'm always blessed to be here in Cleveland. I appreciate you guys having me on the podcast.
We appreciate you
Hey,
coming
and I'm
through,
going to be
man.
there signing autographs too.
Man, nobody care. No, I'm just
They-
talking
they
shit,
might
man.
want an autograph,
Yeah,
man.
exactly. Yeah, from a true Jamaican guy, man. You know what I'm saying? And the reason he here, man, is he getting inducted into the Collinwood Hall of Fame. So that's a big ass deal, man. We want to congratulate him.
For sure.
You know, the host with the most, Jamaican Shan, Rap Sheet, James Cotton,
James Cotton.
and we out, man.
I know him as Twan.
Peace.
like that.
Straight like that. Peace.